All right, looks like we are green. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We are the Game Reactionists. I am Rorschach.
And I am Spectre.
And we are going to continue our playthrough of Resident Evil 3 Remake here. So, nothing to it but to get to it. So, let's just jump right in. Anybody who may have been watching yet last night, just a quick recap. I've had 2 boss encounters with the Nemesis, one of which was against his mutation. We went through the sewers with Jill, went through the police department with Carlos, and I kind of talked about the changes that were made, specifically with the police department. In the original game, you went through that as Jill, but in the remake, they had you go through it as Carlos, which is kind of a miss for me.
Where's Bard now?
Because there's just a lot more of a reason for Jill to be back there.
I'll go on ahead.
Kind of allowing her to reminisce about, stars and all that stuff. It's kind of like a bittersweet homecoming for her. And we just don't get that interaction. So it's unfortunate. But yeah,
I think you're. You said you're. I mean, I missed the last couple parts here, so I think you're a pretty good portion of the way for the game now. You said.
Yeah. So at this point, we're at the hospital. Jill's last encounter with the Nemesis has left her incapacitated, infected specifically. And so now we're at the hospital here, and we have to find a cure for Jill before she turns. So I don't know if you watched any of last night's stream, Spectre.
Yeah, I was keeping up on it. Been playing a couple other things, of course, too, and of course, Resident Evil 4, 2005 Resident Evil 4, playing that as well too. I'm planning to play that a little bit more tonight here, just to kind of start speeding through it because it is it's a longer game, so.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to get through that before the new one comes out.
Yeah, it's crunch time. By the way, would you mind, I think we should be good on audio, but could you just do a quick double check for me?
Yeah, I'll double check here, just to be 100% sure.
So yeah, I mean, these portions of the game aren't particularly long. I mean, once we're done with the hospital, we'll be in Umbrella's lab, and then it's end game from there.
Audio seems to be fine.
Perfect. All right, so we got a tape player here.
So it's impossible to miss, some stuff for the new game. So far with the Metacritic score is anything to go by, which I don't know if I ever really trust it. It kind of gives you at least a general idea of which way the wind's blowing. It looks pretty positive. It's really hard to top the first game's incredible score. I think it was like a 96 for the original game, but I think it's hovering around a 93 last I checked it.
That sounds fair. I mean, I played through the demo. If I had to score it purely on the demo alone, I'd probably score it in high 80s, low 90s area. Then that's just based on the demo itself. I'm confident it's going to be good. It's from the team who's done Resident Evil 2 Remake. They've done Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village. So I'm confident we'll get a very competent remake here. Capcom has been in the press and has publicly stated that they haven't cut content. Now there are rumors that content has been cut, and so we'll see. I know there's a lot of reporting on Ada's assignments not being in the remake. I'm mixed on it. Should it be in there? Probably. But it wasn't part of the original game to begin with, and in my honest opinion, they didn't really add anything of value to the core storyline and narrative of Resident Evil 4 itself. It was just purely extra content that you got in the form of a disc when it released on PlayStation 2 before DLC was a thing. So I don't think that would make or break the game for me personally. If they have it in there, cool. If they don't, I could really care less.
I would say, I can't imagine it's going to lose sales because of that or anything. Would it be nice to have? Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
nobody's
it sort of became
nobody's getting the remake to play through Ada's assignments. They want to play through Resident Evil 4 again.
To be fair though, after aside from the original GameCube version, it did become sort of a standard part of the game afterward.
Yeah, I agree to that. Let me read
it. It is kind of like a package deal with it in a way. Maybe it'll be like DLC later or something. I don't know. But, it's not going to be like, oh, I got to cancel my pre-order or something now.
Right.
It's definitely, but still, it'd be nice just to have the whole thing.
Let me read through this real quick. This is a nurse's journal. Every day they bring in more of these mystery illness patients. The sedatives don't stop their delirium, so we have to put them in straitjackets and move them to the isolation wing. Problem is, the isolation wing is already busting at the seams. The director has ordered us to admit anyone with symptoms free of charge. But what does he expect us to do? Wish them better? We don't have a cure. And that's not at all that's bothering me. When these patients die, they're not collected by the usual mortuary teams. We've been told it's special handling to prevent the illness from spreading. But I'm not sure I buy it. Miranda saw some guys wheeling a body through the forbidden door during the night. Why? Where? What is going on? So there's a journal from a nurse just kind of going over the events of the game here. But yeah, getting back to Resident Evil 4, and I know you had referenced that there's a possible boss that's been cut. I didn't quite remember the boss, and then I looked it up, and you said it was the U3 boss?
Yeah, it sadly refers to it as it. It's a. Is it the most memorable boss in the world? No, but it was a fun little sequence, and I don't know. Maybe that's just my different philosophy with the remake. I like the idea of expanding on the original. I don't like the idea of like nipping away at it and taking things out of it. I guess I would expect to have the bosses come up in some form, all of them. But you can change them, you can play around with them, maybe do a new riff on them or something like that. But to just completely discard one outright, and I don't know if that's for sure yet. Like I said, I've not played for the game, but it seems to be like that might be the case. I think maybe just completely retool the fight, make it different, but still have it in the game in some form.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Don't cut bosses. We've already been hurt, burned badly by that. Especially in Resident Evil 3 Remake, they cut a couple bosses and many different enemy types. And even in Resident Evil 2 Remake, they've cut enemy types. So it's just, I don't like cutting content. I don't. Even with the Ada thing, I know I said it wouldn't make or break Resident Evil 4 for me, but don't do it. Don't sell yourself short. If you're gonna do it right.
Or at the very least, I could understand, hey, we want to get the game. If they came out and just said like an open thing, and said, hey, we want to get the game to you as soon as possible. We will be adding on, much as it was the case with the original release of Resident Evil 4, we'll be adding on separate ways at a later time. It'll be, preferably free DLC, but if not, part of a season pass or deluxe edition or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But at least, just indicating, hey, we don't have the time to do this all and polish it and everything, but we will give it to you at some point in the near future. That would be fine. That wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah.
It'd be better than just not just ignoring it.
We got another nurse's journal here. Admitted over 20 mystery illness patients. Patients in the isolation wing exhibiting severe limb necrosis, fever, muttering delirium, and signs of hyperphagia. Possible infection. Tried every antiseptic. Still no blood work back from the research wing. Again. Ask again. Dr. Young was bitten while treating one of the patients. We've disinfected the wound, but his fever won't go down. Nothing works. Meanwhile, the outpatient wing is complete anarchy. The patients are delirious and growing more violent by the minute. We've called in our off-duty staff. It's all hands on deck now. We have got to contain this chaos. So again, just more exposition, describing
Giving
the
some
events
flavor to the place, yeah.
yeah, describing what's going on with the events of Raccoon City.
I'm also kind of thinking in my head, like, because I plan to do Resident Evil 4 today, so I'm, like, thinking in my head, like, okay, you know, where do I want to use rocket launchers and stuff? Like, how do I want to... Because I want to get for the game, like, not, like, speed runny, but, you know, at the same time, as quick as possible.
Sure.
With some little diversions, you know, I mean, it's not going to really take me that long to do, like, the shooting gallery, or, like, you know, like I took a little bit of time in the last video to do the medallion hunt, you know, but, I mean, it doesn't really take that long to do, like, little side stuff like that.
Another nurse's journal here. We tried, I swear to God we did, but there's nothing else to be done. The chaos is completely beyond control. Victims are pouring in now, dying and spreading the infection faster than we can reach them. So we've given up trying. Those of us who aren't infected have barricaded ourselves in here. We can hear the cries for help outside, the screaming, but none of us will go out there because it would be the end of us. I can't believe we've abandoned our patients. It's the worst sin imaginable for a nurse. I can't stop shaking, but I want to live. I want to live. 9 p.m. We heard a helicopter flying overhead and immediately started crying and hugging each other, thinking a rescue team was on the way. But then the sound grew distant, and all we're left with now is the moaning of the dead and the silent screams in our hearts. We're all about to lose our minds. Dr. Young, Ariana, Miranda, Dakota, I'm so sorry I failed you. Something's coming. Help me. She died. And as you can see,
it's almost like a Monty Python thing, like right up. Ah.
Yeah.
Why would you write that out?
Right. Oh, we got this. Memos from administration. ID cards are not to be taken off hospital grounds under any circumstances as per our security measures. All employees must store their ID card in their own personal lockers before returning home for the day. Thank you, administration. The key to the locker room has gone missing. The last person to have it may have dropped it somewhere in the courtyard. Until it is recovered, we'll keep a spare key here in the office. Please stop by administration at the end of your shift to borrow it.
I do like the placement of, like, the bodies in the room and stuff like that too. Like, it just to kind of give a little bit of, like, flavor to things. I mean, it's kind of like a it's almost like Fallout-esque in a way. Like Fallout and you know, Bethesda games are really, really good about that by telling a story, you know, with just, you know, placement of things in a room, maybe a couple of notes and things like that, and you have to kind of piece together what happened. It makes the place feel, you know, it makes the world feel lived in, like it's a real place.
Yeah.
Like there's a history here, you know, just like in real life, you know.
Right.
You know, there's a history to this. It's not just a video game level.
Not this way.
Right. Yeah, no, I appreciate things like that as well. You know, there are things to appreciate here. Note about a tape recording. Dakota, I think I know what happened to the missing tape of Dr. B. His research assistant took it. One of my patients saw Abbott remove something from a locker in the nurse's station and walk toward the treatment room. I'll try to sneak in and look during the night shift. You just stay cool and keep doing your job. I don't care how important Dr. B is to the medical community. That kind of harassment is not okay. I promise I won't let them destroy the evidence. He's a pig and an asshole and will get his day in court. Stay brave, stay strong, a friend. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. There's something. Here we go. Yeah. ourselves another green herb here. Oh, this door is open. Okay. Yeah! Alright, so that's pretty much all I can do in here for now. Let's go explore around here. Right now, we have the cassette player. We got to find the cassette with the doctor's voice recording in order to access the room with the
Can't get that safe open, right? In the other room.
I don't remember the code for that one. I could look it up, but I can always come back to it. Okay, so we got that. Alright, we got a locker key.
I got it for you if you need it.
Okay, I'll head back up there. I gotta head back up there anyway. And you think it's like 9, 3, and then...
Yep, 9 left, 3 right, 7 left.
Okay, 9, 3, 7. Alright, so that door's unlocked. Alright, so we'll head back up to the... We'll go to the safe.
It's definitely a nice atmosphere in here. There's something about hospitals that's very... it lends itself so well to, like, horror games, you know? Like, it's one of my favorite areas in the Silent Hill games as well, too.
Yeah.
It's just... There's something very... I guess it's maybe just... You naturally associate a hospital with, like, bad things sometimes, you know? Like
sure.
You go there when you're sick or you're ill or you're dying, you know?
Yep. Oh, we
There's
got
no association.
We got hunters on the loose now. Okay, in the nurse's station, that's where they had the... This guy... Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's definitely, you know, lends well to the creepy atmosphere. 9, 3...
How are you supposed to find the safe code, or is it like in a note somewhere? Or?
It's probably in a note. 9, 3, 7. Nope, that's not it.
9 left.
Yep.
To 3, then right to 7, and then left.
Wait, okay, so left 9.
Yeah, 9 left.
Right
3 right. 7 left.
No, that's not it. 9, 3,
Let's see.
7.
Wait. Hang on. 9 left 9, right 3. It's only 2. Should be a simple thing here. Oh, it's right 9, left 3.
So right 9, left 3, right 7.
No, it's right 9, left 3. It's only 2.
Right 9. Oh, god damn it. Oh my gosh. That's odd. More firepower for the AR. Who doesn't like more firepower for their AR? I know I do. Here comes the hunter. I think. Oh, maybe not yet. Maybe it'll be after I go into this room.
Yeah, I kind of teased one already for you about running away.
Yep. We saw the Gamma Hunters in the sewer last night. those are pretty cool. Those are, I believe, a new enemy for the remake. Oh. Jump scare there. Somebody forgot their hat. Okay, that's the lockpick. That's for Jill specifically.
Looks kind of like a Walking Dead hat. First thing I thought of.
Okay, I'm getting a save window here, so now the hunter should be coming out. Yep, here we go. Play on Resident Evil 1. That was rather anticlimactic. Looks pretty gnarly looking though.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Monster Toad. There should be one popping up here. No? Okay. I think the ID card, yep, can be used on that door. Why won't it let me discard it? Oh, because I'm... Duh. No, I'll be able to discard it. Oh, we got a couple hunters in there. Red herb. That can be opened up now. Woo boy!
Unload on the rope.
One thing I kind of bothers me sometimes that oh snap! I'm dead. Is the camera? It really zooms in when you're shooting, which kind of messes up aiming sometimes. I think that's the first time I've died.
At least it didn't send you back too far.
No, I mean they do have auto saves. So
Very much a modern game.
Yeah. The harder difficulties, I know they don't do auto saves and they do ink ribbons as well, like the classic games.
And I like that too. I think that's a good balance between, you know, like I like the idea of like. I like the idea of like limited saves and strategic saves. I know that they're usually very, you know, the ink ribbons in Resident Evil, from my understanding, for most games are pretty plentiful. Yeah. But I like the idea of limited saves or some kind of penalty for saves.
Okay, now they're just spamming the door. Instantly in the room, so I can kill you.
You have to go in the room. Can you just kind of like crack the door and kind of do what you're doing right there?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here. They must have an instant kill attack here. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me in the room. There. For Pete's sake. Alright. Alright, we got the audio cassette tape now. I don't think there's anything else in this area. Nope.
So let me guess, you don't actually find like a vaccine for here, you have to go to a lab to find it or something.
I could tell you. Or you could see for yourself.
That guy was, I thought you killed that zombie.
I thought so too.
I guess we'll find out soon though.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll find out. Sooner than you expect. Alright. So we got that. Now, where are the stairs?
I forgot to run to get beer. It sucks.
Go get one. Oh! No. It's still young.
No, I mean like buy some or whatever.
Oh, you don't have any
Yeah.
at all. Okay. Now, how did all these zombies get in here?
It's a good time for a grenade right there.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Oh, I'm getting low on ammo. So we got some ammo there. A lot of lockers for Jill to open up.
Oh, you can't open those lockers?
No, not with Carlos. He doesn't have a lockpick. Some handgun ammo. Assault rifle ammo. Oh my gosh. He gave me a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, it kind of restocks you here after that, those fights. Jeez.
Yeah, right?
All I wanted to know was what the documents were doing in your office in the first place.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm goddamn Nathaniel Bard. I'm the best biologist you'll ever meet, you bedpan-changing waste of a nursing degree.
Dang. He put her in her place. It's good for him.
Batman.
Uh-oh. Nathaniel Bard.
Tyrell, Bard's dead. He's been shot.
Shit, and the vaccine?
I'm looking.
Well, look harder. There's gotta be a computer, right?
Maybe. Banquet invitation. Dear Dr. Bard, it is my pleasure to cordially invite you to a banquet on September 10th at the Central Hotel, where we will be exchanging viewpoints on Raccoon City's new special medical zone. Attending will be Mayor Michael Warren, Chief of Police Brian Irons, and other distinguished members of our community. Thursday, September 10th, 1998, 6 p.m. The Orient Restaurant, the Central Hotel, 2nd floor. We would be honored if you joined us. Sincerely, Greg Tester, United States Senator. Handwritten note. Nate, I'll be introducing the bill for that new drug of yours in mid-August. Bring the cash. We booked a suite for the usual after party. You're a brunette guy, right? I'll let Irons know. Hula, hula la.
Nice. See, that's, I almost got into medicine myself, and that was the primary reason, just...
For the lavish parties, right?
Turns out, like biology class and chemistry class and all that stuff, they're actually kind of challenging. So,
email from Nathaniel Bard to Greg Tester. Reply immediately. Greg, I know you're watching the news. This virus is going to devour the whole country. The dead will wash over Capitol Hill like a tidal wave. You're not safe. However, you've always been a good friend to me, so I'd like to offer you a way out. I have in my possession 1 dose of a vaccine for the virus, the Holy Grail, and it's not for my family, not for my ladies on the side. No, Greg, I'm saving it for you. I know better than anyone that you're the future of the United States, but if you want the goods, Greg, you have got to get me the hell out of here now without Umbrella finding out. Lean on the Pentagon for me. I know you've got the clout. See if someone can get a rescue team in here without UBCS involvement. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, which should sound pretty chaste after the parties we've been to. Chaste? Is it chaste or chaste? Chaste.
Chaste.
Okay. It just seems weird. Hurry, my time is running out.
Excuse me. Sorry.
This is VRC Chief Nathaniel Bard, September 29, 11 p.m. I am acutely aware that my time's running out. And I hope and pray, by making this recording and bringing the truth to light, that I can restore some small shred of honor to my name. All of Raccoon City's suffering began with the release of a biological weapon known as the T-virus. My employer, the Umbrella Corporation, engineered this virus, and they ordered my team to develop a vaccine, which we did. Now, I keep samples of this vaccine here in my office. The rest of it is stored underground.
Uh-oh.
But those sons of bitches at the board, they want to destroy it. They don't want the world to know what they've done. So they're trying to erase all evidence that the virus ever existed.
A little tough to do now that there's been news reporting and
I know they don't want
video footage and all these witnesses.
Well, it is 1998, This is back before everyone had a cell phone and
she
Still
trusted
had,
me anyway.
still had camcorders and video recorders.
Do you remember camcorders? They were pretty unwieldy devices.
They had the handheld ones. They weren't.
True, but I mean, did you carry it around everywhere you went?
Is it here?
No, I did not carry one around when I was about 9 years old at the time. I didn't.
Neither did I, but
I didn't have the resources.
Yeah, the average 9-year-old has a camcorder better than on their phone, better than what they were using probably in Hollywood at the time.
Right. Yeah, no, that is the truth. All right, we've got the vaccine.
T, I got it.
Good. I'm headed your way.
Be careful.
Careful. Have you seen this town? It'll be a fucking miracle if I get there in one piece.
Of course, in the process of getting the vaccine, I become infected too, but
Right.
rendering this all, completely irrelevant. But
Ah, it's a hunter! Oh my gosh. Oh, you can just come through at the door. Huh? I hear another one crawling around. I can't do anything over here, right? And this is not... Yep. Oh man, fresh zombies.
You're gonna be okay, Joe.
You're gonna be okay, Joe. It's all going to be okay. just gives her the only dose. Hardly seems worth it. Be ashamed if she died.
So she's just sitting in here the whole time? There's zombies wandering the corridors? And
oh, yeah, there's plenty of stuff that happens, even in Resident Evil, even in the original games. I mean, we saw, you know, situations of that in the Resident Evil 1 remake, you know. But, yeah. The zombies clearly wouldn't think to wander into the door.
Tyrell, what the hell happened?
Attention all citizens. The contagion spreading throughout the city has been designated uncontainable. On October 1st, Raccoon City will be completely destroyed in a missile strike. All residents capable of rational thought are urged to evacuate immediately. This is not a test. Attention all citizens.
I mean, that's only a day away. There's still people in the city. You think Uncle Sam gives a shit? Fuck. Here
I
they
mean,
come. Oh, you sit tight.
why would
I
they...
got this.
I guess I understand that part. Like, why would they
Better grab some gear.
warn anybody in this city? Like, you would think like they'd be concerned about kind of quarantining things.
I'm gonna try to lower the window
Yeah.
shutters. The less entry points.
Like,
the
I mean, just
better.
logically, like
How
you're
do we
trying
do
to,
that?
you're going to such a
I'll try
drastic
hacking into the
measure
hospital
to
security
stop,
system.
you know, spread
Keep
of a
them off
virus
me in
that
the
you
meantime.
can, you know, level a city.
Yeah.
But you're warning everybody. I mean,
Exactly, giving them a chance to get out if they're infected.
yeah. I mean,
and-
imagine you're like an infected person there, and you're like, oh man, there's a missile that's gonna wipe me out here. It's like, what would you think? Let's go sit here and
Now
let it
the
happen.
one should be-
Yeah, right?
Or even if you, I mean, that's one of the kind of the funny things about most like zombie movies or anything like that is like the protagonist can be like literally like taking a bath in like infected blood and hair and skin, all this other stuff that's around them, and there's never any repercussions for it ever. Like there's like I can't think of any movies off the top of my head where somebody like it's always like a bite or something like that. Like nobody ever gets infected with anything by like just not washing their hands. You know?
Right.
It's like I know it's really like anticlimactic, you know, but it's like it's true. Like I mean, you know, if I was running around in a city like this, you know, assuming I wasn't like infected or something, I'd be like I'd take like you know, a 4-hour bath or something in the shower, like, you know,
Right.
you know, like just like God, like, you know, scalding water, you know, every soap known to man. Yeah, I'd like, you know, swim in bleach, you know, just
Yeah,
like,
no-
I mean, you would think that, right? I mean, like, never ever happened. That's what I would do in my zombie movie. If I would make a zombie movie, somebody's going to be infected just because they forgot to wash their hands. and they rub their eyes or something, you know, it's like, you know.
Oh, come on.
And I get it. I know a lot of. I mean, there's not many viruses that are that easy. I mean, there are some that are that easy to spread, but usually ones that are spread by blood or something like that. It's not like it's not like a casual contact type of thing, you know.
Right.
And even if you are exposed to like directly to blood, there's a chance that you won't be infected.
Right.
It's not that simple. It's not like you're like, oh, there it is. I'm infected now. It's kind of, it depends on a lot of factors and stuff. But still, you know, you would think like,
Oh. Power's out.
like literally every room you go through in this hospital is like, it's like you could.
Oh.
I'm surprised you don't slip because there's so much blood everywhere.
Right.
Aim for the head. Got it.
All these extra supplies. My goodness. Oh, I got a hip pouch. Alright.
I got one zombie that fell on top of you. It's like it's raining zombies.
You fell through the duct. Oh, it's the Las
What the
Plagas.
hell was he doing up there?
Obviously trying to get away. Oh. Can't let them attack that door. You know, now they want to get to the door. Oh, come on.
Do no harm, Doctor.
Yeah, right? He's not following his Hippocratic oath. Oh my gosh. Yep, and here we go. Now Carlos is definitely infected. And this Las Plagas is just laying on the floor. No big deal.
Is that actually what it is, or is it some sort of like other thing?
You know, I can't recall if Capcom's ever confirmed what it is. I think they did that intentionally as a nod to Resident Evil 4 because that was always going to be their next plan, was to remake. Oh, there's a hunter in here. What's the? Oh, it was the remake. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm still fine.
You got like the whole city out here.
Yep.
So I didn't. Maybe you can answer this because I didn't play Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 8 for any significant period of time. Do they tie in to the other games too?
Yes, they do.
Is it like a small plot point, like, oh, by the way, like, Wesker's my second cousin or something, at the end, or is it like a major plot point?
I'd say
Leon was my former roommate or something.
I'd say it's. I would put it in the major plot point category because it is. Chris Redfield is a player in the games. Oh, I gotta get out of this room. Take cover. Alright, yep. Nothing like blowing up the foundation pillar. There won't be any structural issues now.
Carlos, you alright?
I don't know if that thermite could have melted those steel beams, but...
I'm coming back.
A little suspicious here.
Vaccine's the real deal.
She finally showed some gratitude toward Carlos
What do you think you're gonna do?
in my
Whole
stream
city's
last
about
night
to
too.
be microwaved.
You know, she wasn't a girl boss for a moment.
Tell them we found a cure. You stall for time.
There you go. And all she had to do was almost die.
Yeah,
I want this guy's job. I'll just sit by you go run out there. Remind me if we're ever in that situation, you can go run outside and potentially get killed and munched on by like 400 things. I'll sit there and watch Jill sleep,
Jill.
He drew the short straw there.
I've got good news. It's over now. The city's safe.
Huh? Uh-oh. I guess I got bit too many times as Carlos. Bam!
Carlos.
Carlos, no! Oh, it was a dream sequence. They got us. They tricked us there, Spectre.
Did you ever watch as a kid Magic School Bus?
What's that?
Did you ever watch Magic School Bus when you were a kid?
Oh, of course.
So, remember Carlos would always make some kind of pun or a joke, and they'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Attention all citizens. The missile strike on Raccoon City will occur in just hours. The payload is designed designed to eradicate all biological material.
She had one
You will
bite. You know,
not
she's
survive
literally
if you
been
remain in the city.
October 1st.
drowning in infected blood. And, you know,
Right.
big giant biological weapon thing chasing you and manhandling you and stuff. But
Yup. Oh, we got a new gun?
where's the skimpiest outfit you could possibly find?
Well, of course. Store that. We'll bring out our shotgun. With our shells. I don't know if I want the burst gun. I'm gonna store that. I'll store that too. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Store these.
Morning, sunshine.
You saved my life.
I sure as shit didn't. That was all Carlos. He carried you here and he treated you himself, crazy bastard.
Where is he?
He went underground. Bard stockpiled the vaccine, enough to give this city some hope.
He thinks he can do this by himself. I'm going after him.
Wait, did you see the broadcast? They're gonna blow the city sky high. I'm trying to get a hold of someone, anyone with the clearance to stop it. Leave this mess to him. He's a professional.
So am I.
Oh, there she is, girl boss Jill.
Right. Guess I'm not talking you out of this. The storage facility is underground, beneath this hospital. I've lost contact with Carlos, so expect trouble.
What am I missing in here? Cold drinks for sale.
Alright.
Welcome back.
So now you're probably, I think if memory serves you, heading towards like the lab, right?
Yeah, this is end game.
So we're making good time. You know, I started Resident Evil 4 original, and you're almost done with this, and it's only the 17th, so we still got like a little less than a week.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we should for sure be able to get everything caught up, and then our Resident Evil marathon will... Well, with the core games, it will be over. And then, of course, we got Resident Evil 4 Remake.
And thankfully for Star Wars next month, there's only one game to play, really. I mean, I could technically play other Star Wars games, I guess, but...
Yeah.
I only plan to play Fallen Order. Because, well, Fallen Order is long. To me, it's very long.
Yeah.
I think what I'll do is, for that, of course, I'm a crazy completionist. You know, I grab everything and stuff. But I think what I'll do is I'll do both. I will go for the main story. I'll, you know, do some diversions here and there as I feel like it. Like, there's some fun little side things to do here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll primarily be focusing on the main story for that. So I can get to the end of the game and complete the game. And then after that, I will, you know, do 100%, you know, some other time, or I don't know if I'll even stream it or whatever. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's any desire for that, but at least I'll have gone for the main story. The real question is, thinking ahead to that, which skin should I use for that game? That's the real question.
For Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm thinking we have some fun and make it like kind of like, you know, like a Force Unleashed, like 3. I could go for the Darth Vader skin.
That'd be cool.
Well. And I could change the lightsaber to red too, so it's truly like the Darth Vader experience.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd say do it.
We'll do that. We'll turn the main character into someone far more interesting.
There you go.
And we'll make up a story in our head. We'll pretend that he's actually he's blackmailed these people in his crew, and he's hunting down the Jedi list, and it's a lot more interesting.
There you go.
That's a lot more interesting of a story than what's actually the story for the game is. So.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the story of the game.
Oh boy, you are not missing much at all. It's a fun game visually, like from a combat sense, and it's sort of a God, what would you call it? Kind of like a collage of different games, kind of brought together. It's like you mix together like Dark Souls with collectible-a-thon and some light Zelda puzzle solving, and you kind of sprinkle all these things together, and some light RPG elements, and you have that's what you have then.
Yeah, the gameplay itself looked fine. I just haven't much cared for a Star Wars game in quite some time, or Star Wars in general.
Oh yeah, well it's I can't blame you there. It's hard to care about Star Wars these days. It really is, especially if you're an older school fan. It's really hard to care about anything Star Wars related. But I mean, it is a passable game. It's enjoyable. I don't think it's a masterpiece or anything. I think it's slightly above average.
Okay.
My thing is, I just feel like we've done this so many times before. I wish we actually had. For once, I would like to see a Star Wars game, and I'd like them to do the same thing in the Warhammer universe. And it's kind of been done to some degree in Warhammer, at least more than Star Wars has. I'd like to see a game presented from the evil perspective from the start, again. And you kind of have that with Star Wars to some degree. You have like Knights of the Old Republic, where you can be Sith and stuff like that, and I mean you kind of have that. But I wanted a story-driven game where start to finish you are a Sith character, an evil character, or whatever, and there's no redemption to it. It's not like Force Unleashed where it's like, oh, now he's a good guy, or now he's trying to just save people, or blah blah blah. Now he's part of the rebellion. Just make him like. It's like they're terrified of making somebody like a story about an evil character, quote unquote. Same with Warhammer. Warhammer has some games where you have like a chaos campaign, but I want to see a game where you're just from start to finish, like maybe like the next Space Marine game. There's another Space Marine game coming out. I'd like to see the next Space Marine game after that from a chaos perspective, where you're just an evil chaos Space Marine and you're beginning to end just a horrible, evil, despicable creature of an entity.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Something different. But yeah, so I will play that next month. We will probably start it a little bit early, just because it is a longer game, even if you are just going for the main story.
Okay.
So I won't linger too long. We will start that relatively quickly. But of course, we're going to have some bleed over here of Resident Evil, just because the game's being released at the end of March. So naturally, we're going to have some bleed over of that. But I would say by second week of April. Oh God, when does it come out?
It comes out like the end of.
Perfect. This works out great. Okay, yeah, April 28th.
Yeah, it's the end of April.
So that works out beautifully. So we have a couple of weeks, Resident Evil comes out on the 23rd. So we have that next week and the week after that, and even going into that. As long as I'm starting the game by the 14th, I think we'll be okay. That gives me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we will have another fun video to go along with that too. We're going to do a room tour video of my Star Wars room, which is going to be fun. You guys all saw that in our Dead Space unboxing. So I really, that's going to be a good time for us to go through. It's that'll be entertaining. Something a little bit different. Room tours are always fun. Those are some of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, just when I'm bored. It's just like, okay, I'll just Google, video game room tour, or Star Wars room tour, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just fun to see how people kind of arrange stuff, you know.
See their collection.
See their collection and see how they present it to some degree, you know, because sometimes people are pretty creative of how they kind of display stuff. So that'll be fun to do. So we'll have a Star Wars focus, and then we'll have Zelda after that in May, and then we kind of take a break in a way. Not really when you think about it, because we have after May in June we'll have a lot to talk about with. I can't call it E3 anymore. I mean, well, it is E3. There's an E3, but we'll call it that E3 season.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call it. You know, the presentation season for all the big companies. So we'll have lots to talk about in June, and then I think July and August are usually pretty quiet, relatively speaking. I don't think anything's really coming out for those months that we actually play, and. Yeah, so that'll be our July and August in particular, and some of June will be our catch-up months, where we'll go through some games that we just want to go through, and
Finish
they may
up.
be more. Yeah, they may be more recent stuff. They may not be, but it's just kind of catch up on stuff. You know, like it probably will be a lot of recent stuff because we got to finish Atomic Heart, we got to finish Hogwarts, we got to finish. I still got to do Dead Space.
Yeah.
You know, so it's probably going to be catching up on that stuff.
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 4 will keep me occupied through some of April. I am off for when that releases. So I do intend to kind of go after it pretty heavily. Gosh, where the heck do I go? I'm turned around here.
I suppose I could take it off for it. Let's see. Maybe I will.
Okay, I think I'm supposed to drop in on that side, maybe? I gotta get to the reception area.
It's next Friday, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, I'm off starting next week, Wednesday through the following Thursday. So I could probably even get through Resident Evil Remake within that time frame.
Oh wow, so you're taking like a whole week off.
Yeah, it's pure coincidence, actually. I just happened to take off because it's around my my birthday. And so I always take off for that anyway. And then they announced the release date. I was like, oh, that's perfect. You know, it was meant to be. So,
I never take off for my birthday, really.
I do. I mean, I don't necessarily do anything, but it just gives me an excuse to be off. Plus, I'm salary, so I don't have to... I don't really have a limit on how much I take off, so long as I don't abuse it. So...
Yeah, no, same here. Yeah, you do seem to be kind of turned around.
I am. I don't know how the hell I'm turned around. For fuck's sake.
I gotta get back to Company of Heroes, so I keep forgetting about that game. It's on my... I mean, I can't really forget about any games, though, because I have them on my...
oh my gosh.
My
Let's
active
do
streaming
here.
list.
Now I know where I'm going. Holy buckets.
There you go. Oh, that's right. I gotta do it's kind of weird. They're doing a really substantial Ghostwire Tokyo update, like a year later after it's launched.
Oh, right.
I think I guess it's not completely random. It coincides with because it was originally a console exclusive,
Okay.
PlayStation, but now it's going to be released on Xbox, and I think it's going to be on Game Pass, so you'll have access to it.
Okay.
But that's why I think they're doing the update for it. So they're adding some more stuff for me to do, so I will dive back into that. It was a game I was disappointed by, but at the same time, I also had some fun with it. It is a probably, I would encourage you to be on at least one of those streams with me just to kind of see the game up close.
Okay.
It is a really gorgeous vision of Tokyo. It has a lot of like just insane amount of environmental detail. It feels like you're really like running around the city. It's beautiful to look at.
Okay.
It's just that unfortunately there's not much of a great game behind that. It's just a really average first-person shooter game with a extremely forgettable story and maybe a couple of decent enemy designs. That's about it.
Okay.
But it seems like they're addressing it to some degree with the DLC too. They're adding different types of enemies in. They are adding like a little bit of like a challenge stage to it. They're adding a couple of like creepy areas to explore. So it's yeah, I mean it's not a horrible game by any means. If you can pick it up on sale, I'd say if you can pick it up on sale for like under $30, it's probably worth it. You'll definitely get your time out of it. It's like almost like a 40+ hour game if you get all the collectibles. There's just an insane number of collectibles in the game.
Okay.
Oh, this must be the way.
So if you care about like completion and stuff like that, you will get your money's worth out of it. If you're just doing the main story, probably like 10-15 hours. But if you go for everything, then you have plenty to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be streaming that too. So that's what I have on the docket here. Company of Heroes, Dead Space, Ghostwire Tokyo, Hogwarts, Resident Evil 4, which we're doing right now, and then Fallen Order.
Okay.
Next month. That's what I got on my active stream list.
One second here. Alright. So now we are heading to the underground. I was letting you finish up your spiel, but I had to use a lockpick to get to the elevator that takes me to the underground. And just realized, how was Carlos able to get through the door? Because he doesn't use a lockpick. Game? Huh? Can you answer that?
Maybe he kicked down the door, I don't know.
And then put it back on its hinges?
Because light, I guess.
Because I had to use the lockpick to open it as Jill.
Maybe a hunter relocked the door again.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. So I think we're about to wrap up the hospital section here. Alright, we got another hip pouch. Got a lot of materials here. So I'll play through, I'll get to the lab, and then I'll finish off my stream for the night. Elevator notice: to all employees, we've identified an issue with the electrical box where concurrent use of heavy machinery overloads it and causes the fuses to blow. If you encounter this problem and can't get the elevator running, please stay calm, gather fuses from the sub-generators situated around the warehouse, and use those to restore power from the main generator as quickly as possible. Okay.
Will do.
Just because I'm a loot whore. I'm gonna grab the herb that's down here. I didn't know this on the easy difficulty modes. Again, I was just running through easy to get through these quickly, just for time's sake. But they have auto aim, and I don't know if there's a way to turn it off. Oh wait, there we go. Oh my gosh.
There's got to be, right?
There is, yeah. I just found it.
That's actually one modern trend with gaming that I do enjoy, is that they really put in a lot of effort nowadays. Whereas before it was kind of an afterthought. A lot of games do tend to give you customizable controls. They can let you change and tweak things a little bit. Accessibility options to change things a little bit. So that is one modern trend that's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just checking my what's it called thing here? Do I have power? I know the battery's dead. I'll have to plug her in.
Store that. We'll store that. Got a good amount of shotgun shells. So I'll keep the shotgun for now.
You know what? We don't even have to use that. It's not what's it called here?
Explosive A. Oh. I put away that explosive way too soon. Give me one quick second. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. I'm just charging up the old Steam Deck. Oh god, what did I do? Gotta update this sucker a little bit. I feel like I should get like a better case for it. Thinking about it. That'll be our question for the video. What do you, anybody out there with a Steam Deck, what kind of case do you use for it? I mean, I have the one that comes with it, you know, like the Valve case, but I mean, just in terms of like, you know, do you use a screen protector? I don't really see the need for a screen protector on it. But it has the glass and stuff, and then I have like a little bit of just like a regular rubber grip on it or whatever, silicone grip.
I always like a lot of glass products have that in general nowadays. I always like getting a screen protector in general though, just because I have kids and you know.
My only fear is it is a touchscreen, and they do have. I mean, it can sometimes affect a touchscreen. You know, so yeah. I mean, for like a phone, that's fine, but. I mean, yeah, and if it was a kid that was using it, like, I would definitely do it, but I mean, for me, like, I mean, I never break stuff, I never drop my electronics or anything, I've never had anything break on me.
Yeah.
I'm very careful with my stuff in general.
Oh, yeah, these things.
I got Stein in again,
yeah, so these things don't actually die, I don't think. I think you have to set them on fire.
Oh, they're like regenerators from...
Yeah.
There we go, that wasn't too bad. Thankfully, they updated the mobile app to be very useful now.
Oh, yeah?
For Steam, so you can just log in with the QR code.
Else in here? I know I'm gonna have. I think I'm gonna have some pooches. Nope. There. Oh, come on! I hit him. Yeah. See, the camera sometimes. I failed to talk about this, but the camera sometimes zooms in way too close over the shoulder. I mean, this isn't comfortable to me personally. You know, even when using the handgun, and I think they did the same thing with Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's just kind of like, you know, it's whatever, you know, I'll adapt. You know, it's not that big of a deal, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it just seems weird with the third-person over-the-shoulder views. They've decided to just make the cameras zoom in super tight on you.
Yeah, I can see how that could be a little,
it's just
a little annoying.
It's almost distracting, you know?
Oh, a dead end. No, wait.
So now we're hunting for the fuses in order to get the elevator working. We did miss it, but there was some dialogue between Jill and Nikolai. You know, basically, you'll never get out of here. You know, that type of stuff. Employee memo. September 12th, admitted to N2, male 45, female 32, discarded, male 60, female 89. Okay, these are just... they're just specimens that they're disposing of. Alright, that door's unlocked. No, go down the ladder. Got some gun. Oh! Ooh, boy. See, it almost makes it a little bit more difficult to aim when it zooms in that tight on you.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So to any developers that are watching this, maybe zoom the camera out just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be like this is just... and, you know, maybe what you're watching doesn't give it justice, but on my monitor, it's just like Jill's body is taking up like half the screen, basically. And even with the pistol, you know, so instead of half a screen, it's like a little more than a quarter of the screen. I got some shotgun shells here. Plenty of ammunition. Everything is going to get shot. Shell holder.
Let's see. I don't want a decal. What the hell?
This will take us back up. Got some handgun bullets here.
Still updating, huh?
Oh, you can hear something in that container. Oh. Alright, that container's been cleared. the last fuse.
Right, here goes.
I'm sure this door will crack open. Yep. Oh, it's a gamma. You're dead. Oh, good, a green herb. I was worried. Yeah, they have certainly stockpiled me here. Okay. And then I just gotta go back and put the fuses in. That should take us to the lab. Drop off some stuff. Oh, the zombies are coming alive!
Is it just me, or it doesn't seem like there's a lot of like bosses in this game in general? I mean,
no, there isn't. I mean,
you had that little section where, I mean, that was fine, where there's like a horde of them, you know, to handle. That's fine. But it just feels like you're not really encountering a lot of bosses, right?
No, you're not. Which is unfortunate. 4, is it 4, 3, 2, 1? Pursue Nikolai. Well, yeah, you've been running around downstairs all this time.
What was he doing in here?
Unfinished activity log. Infiltrated RC disturbances are sporadic. Commencing mission. Observed 5 RPD officers engaging a pack 20 strong. Officers annihilated in 20 minutes. Test run at university. Diverted pack, including canines to campus. 64% infection and conversion in 2 hours. No survivors. Successful rendezvous with MV platoon. Will make first attempt at dawn. Diverted pack toward command post. Result: night skirmish in confined area with large number of combatants. End of skirmish, 7 survivors. Unknown bioweapon deployed at point D18. Tracking it per orders. It appears to be on the hunt. Got eyes on 2 stars. A male infected and female. Bioweapon is pursuing the female. Female JV, Jill Valentine, has made contact with MV platoon. Bioweapon's appearance and behavior are consistent with Project N. It's Nemesis. Investigating observed bioweapon wielding conventional weapons. It seems to be strongly fixated on terminating Jill Valentine and knows the city layout. Evidence it can be imprinted. Metamorphosis in the bioweapon triggered by a hostile encounter with Jill Valentine. Jill Valentine has been infected and is non-responsive. Collected samples per orders. Over 17 hours have elapsed since JV's exposure to virus. Conversion has been slow, suggesting she may be resistant. Vaccine recovered and administered to JV by CO, a soldier in MV platoon. JV expected to be fit for combat approximately 20 hours post-exposure. It seems clear the bioweapon is Project Nemesis. Contact with Jill Valentine causes it to change and evolve, will induce further encounters to obtain more precise data. So he's been behind it all along.
Joe,
Tyrell.
I got through.
Uh-oh.
They're willing to negotiate.
Well, no.
They'll call off the strike if, and this is one big-ass if, we can deliver the vaccine to them before they launch.
How long do we have?
Hours. Maybe.
Then let's not waste one more second.
Go with Tyrell. I should shoot him.
We'll find
He's
the
clearly
vaccine up
infected.
ahead.
Sure you don't need to stop?
Stop and do what? I got your back.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's get this done.
Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, there's your action shot. Oh!
Tyrell! Now! Keep going.
He's
We're
dead.
almost there. No!
I'll say
Shit!
Get the vaccine. Okay. Alright, we'll find a save point in here. Here we go. Some more AR. High-grade gunpowder. Green herb. Nest 2 employee regulations. Attention Nest 2 employees, the objective of this T-Virus research facility differ from those Umbrella's main Nest facility. Here we focus on real-world use cases which arise as new bioweapons are created and introduced, such as the need for T-Virus vaccines and new weaponry capable of suppressing bioweapons. Some aspects of our work here can be dangerous, so it is imperative that all employees adhere to workplace regulations without fail. In particular, unauthorized entry by unapproved visitors or the removal of work-related data or materials will be met with severe disciplinary measures. It is a great honor to be part of the finest research organization in the world. Keep this in mind and stick to the rules as we forge new and revolutionary technologies.
sounds like a nice place to work.
Yeah. So this is Nest 2. Okay, so this is not the main Nest facility, which is the facility that you infiltrate as Leon or Claire in Resident Evil 2 Remake. So I was mistaken there. Take out, we'll store this. Ooh, we got some more Magnum rounds. Store that. Just clean up my inventory here. Store. 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 Alright, and we'll go ahead and save. So we are officially out of the hospital. We are now in the lab, and we are in endgame of Resident Evil 3 Remake. So the hospital was essentially kind of like a horde mode almost. No real boss encounters, no encounter with Nemesis until toward the end as we entered the lab. You start off with it mostly as Carlos, and then you kind of finish off with Jill. So, it's a good atmosphere, it's a good area, but it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't really do much of anything for me. Neither does this game in general. Kind of playing through it for the sake of playing through it, given Resident Evil 4 Remake's release. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on what you've seen or witnessed with regards to this portion of Resident Evil 3 Remake?
It's definitely not like as horrible as I was expecting it to be.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it seems like it's fairly enjoyable. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's like, I mean, it doesn't really blow me away or anything. I mean, this is as a casual observer, though. I'm, like I said, not a Resident Evil fan by any stretch of the imagination. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess for me, so far, the things I'm picking up on are just a lack of boss encounters,
lack of enemy variation.
Lack of enemy variation, right? I mean, it's. I mean, I do like some of the environments that you went for, like the hospital. You know, it's not all terrible, but it's just, yeah. I mean, it's more so that it's like you said, it's more so the things that we're not seeing though too. It's the cut content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
Yeah, and I guess you would have had to have been a fan of the original release and had to have played through the original release to know the differences. I mean, the key difference is, you know, Carlos going through the police station instead of Jill. You know, that just, narratively speaking, it doesn't make any sense. You know, the police station was almost treated like a homecoming for Jill, you know, like a bittersweet type situation. You know, she dedicated her early part of her life to becoming an employee with Raccoon Police Department, and then she made it to STARS. You know, obviously went through the traumatic events of the Arklay Mountains incident. You know, her going through the STARS office in the original game. Obviously, we didn't get, like, super in-depth, you know, cutscenes. I mean, this is a game that came out on the PlayStation 1, you know, so you got to keep that in mind. But it still kind of gave that, you know, that feeling of nostalgia, almost, playing through Jill, and you just don't really get that as Carlos. Missed opportunity of Nemesis not even pursuing Carlos either. In the police station, you know, in the original, Nemesis still pursues Jill. I mean, he pursues Jill through a great portion of the game in the original release. So it's just, it's that, you know, the clock tower being cut. The clock tower had some pretty fun puzzles in the original game. And then there was the park portion that was cut. That's where you fought the Gravedigger. And so it's just these things where it's just like, I understand. I'm one that can understand, you know, the pressures for game developers and having to meet deadlines. Capcom clearly wanted this game out quickly. This came out a year after Resident Evil 2 Remake's release, so they wanted to capitalize on that momentum. And it was an easy cash grab for them because any fan of the series was going to pick this up, but this remake is notorious amongst the community in terms of just so many missed opportunities, and it leaves you begging for more. You know, as somebody who's a casual player or not even familiar through the series, I can certainly understand why you know, wouldn't understand it being perceived as bad as it is. It's just, I don't hate it. As I said the other night, it's not even the worst Resident Evil game in my opinion. And I know I've been pretty critical of it. There are portions of it that I appreciate. You know, the linked events between this and Resident Evil 2 Remake still. But it's just like, God, I really wish we had the clock tower. I really wish we had the park. I really wish we had the enemies. You know, there were no spiders in Resident Evil 2 or 3 Remake. And it's just like, spiders in general have just always been like a key enemy variant for the series in the original games. And I just don't understand why they didn't have them in there. But yeah, that will conclude tonight's stream. If you've been watching or if you will be watching, you know, let us know in the comments about what you've seen. You know, let me know how you feel about it. Do you share the same views that I do, or do you think that it's just not as bad as it's made out to be? You know, I'd be really curious to see what the community thinks, and I'd be more than happy to interact with you on that and discuss it further with you. So with that said, I am Rorschach.
And I'm Spectre.
And we hope you guys have a lovely evening.